Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to unpack something that is fundamentally transforming how we build on the web. We are looking at a complete, beginner-to-production blueprint based on recent insights into modern web development. If you've ever wanted to build a professional website but felt totally intimidated by the sheer amount of code you'd have to write, I have some incredible news for you. The rules have completely changed. Today, anyone can build a fully functional, professional-grade website in a matter of hours instead of weeks. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Vibe coding revolution, meet your new tech stack, and then generate our front end. After that, we'll power up the database back end, launch to the world, and wrap up with some pro tips for success. Let's get into it.
First up, the Vibe coding revolution. For decades, traditional coding basically meant spending weeks, or even months, agonizing over every single line of code. Hunting down that one missed semicolon and wrestling with complex syntax just to get a basic page online. But Vibe coding? It flips the script completely. You're now building entire applications simply by describing exactly what you want using natural language. It's a total paradigm shift. We're moving from tedious manual labor straight to creative direction.
So what exactly is Vibe coding? Well, it's this massive new development style where you build apps using AI coding assistants. Tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Cursor, Gemini, and others. You just describe your requirements in plain English. Think of it like the ultimate project blueprint, but with a major twist. Instead of laying every brick yourself, natural language is essentially your general contractor. When you're Vibe coding, you aren't acting as a traditional programmer typing out loops and variables. You are stepping right into the role of a project manager. You speak to the AI, tell it what the application needs to do, and the AI builds the house while you direct the overall vision.
All right, part 2. Meet your new tech stack. Every great house needs a solid foundation and quality materials, right? Let's look at how seamlessly these modern cloud services fit together to make building so accessible. We're pairing React and Next.js with Tailwind CSS for a super sleek front end. For our backend and authentication, we're bringing in Supabase, which manages our Postgres database, user logins, and file storage. We're holding all our code together using GitHub for source control. And finally, we're launching it to the web using HostGenner for hosting, domains, and secure SSL certificates. It's an incredibly powerful, enterprise-grade combination, and you can orchestrate the whole shebang right from your laptop.
Moving right along to Section 3, Generating the Front End.
This is the foundation and framing of our website, the part the user actually sees and interacts with. To make this highly tangible, imagine typing this exact prompt from our source text into your AI assistant. Build a responsive accounting blog using Next.js, Tailwind CSS, and Supabase. Requirements: homepage, about page, user authentication, admin dashboard, dark mode. Boom! You've set the goal, an accounting blog, and outlined the precise features. And just look at what the AI instantly generates in response. It creates the components, the routing between pages, the CSS styling for that dark mode, the API calls to fetch data, and even complex forms with built-in validation. In the past, writing the boilerplate code for just an admin dashboard and user login would take days of focused work. Now, your job is mainly to review and refine what the AI generated. You guide the AI to tweak the styling or adjust the layout, saving you an absolute immense amount of time.
Okay, Section 4, Powering the Database Backend.
With the house framed, we gotta move to the plumbing and electrical phase. Sticking with our accounting blog example, a simple, highly effective database schema might look something like this. We have a table for users, one for their posts, one for comments, and one for categories. And what's really brilliant here is that Supabase completely eliminates traditional backend setup. You literally just go to their dashboard, create a project, and they manage this robust PostgreSQL database for you. Zero server configuration required on your end.
Connecting that database to your beautiful AI-generated front end is incredibly straightforward. It's a simple 3-step process. First, you install the Supabase JavaScript library. Second, you initialize the client using 2 unique keys from your Supabase dashboard, your Supabase URL and your anonymous key. Third, and just like that, your front end is securely connected. Your web app can now read articles, insert new posts, update data, delete records, and authenticate users via email, Google, or GitHub.
This step-by-step workflow perfectly illustrates how effortlessly this stack handles complex features. Let's say a user wants to upload a profile picture. Step 1, the user uploads the image. Step 2, it's sent directly to Supabase storage. Step 3, Supabase automatically generates a public URL for that image. And step 4,
You simply save that URL straight into your database. It turns what used to be a massive headache of file handling and server storage into a smooth, 4-step automated breeze.
Next up, Section 5, Launching to the World. Now for the big reveal stage. Let's walk through this crucial timeline together. You start with your local code and initialize it using Git. You then push that code up to GitHub. This step is super vital because GitHub acts as your version control backup and enables continuous deployment. Next, you connect that GitHub repository to Hostinger to deploy and host the actual files. Finally, you configure your custom domain on Hostinger and enable free HTTPS for secure encryption.
Depending on how you built your app, Hostinger actually gives you a couple of deployment options. If you built the static site using React or Next.js static export, you just run your build command and upload the resulting folder via Hostinger's file manager. Super simple. But if your application requires server-side rendering, you can opt for their VPS hosting. You'll clone your repo, install your packages, and use a tool like PM2 to keep your Node.js application running continuously. You have total flexibility to scale.
Finally, Section 6, Pro Tips for Success. As we enter the final phase, let's go over some inspector's notes and guardrails for success. I cannot stress this enough. This is a critical warning straight from our source material. Never, ever expose the Supabase service role key in your front-end code. Earlier, we talked about the anonymous key, which is completely safe for the front end, but the service role key, that has absolute admin privileges. If that gets leaked into your public website code, malicious users can bypass literally all your security. Keep it hidden. To keep your app secure and truly production ready, let's rapid fire through an essential best practices checklist. Always use environment variables for those sensitive keys we just talked about. Make sure you enable row-level security or RLS on all your Supabase tables so users only see their own data. Write clear Git commit messages so you can track your changes. Separate your development and production environments. Always enable HTTPS. And please, back up your databases regularly. On the flip side, you definitely want to avoid the common traps that snare most beginners. Don't upload unnecessary large folders to GitHub. Always use a gitignore file. Don't wait to commit your code until you have a massive pile of changes. Commit often. Never deploy to production without rigorously testing your authentication and database permissions first. And don't ignore your database migration scripts as your app grows.
By combining vibe coding, Supabase, GitHub, and Hostinger, you are moving from an idea to a production-ready website with drastically less complexity. You get to focus on solving problems for your users, not managing infrastructure. The old barriers to entry have officially been knocked down. The complexity is gone. The infrastructure is managed for you, so my question for you is, what will you build next? Thanks for joining me in this explainer. Get out there, start prompting, and start building.